Right, good evening, everybody. We're live, and welcome to tonight's Wednesday night quiz. I shall just check, make sure I've actually got my correct connection, because I don't think I'm connecting correctly. Just give me a second, because I might get an easy connection. Right. Sorry. Internet access. Ethernet, that's what I wanted. Right then, Stuart Colwell's just signing. Good evening to you, Stuart. Hello, hope all is well with you tonight. Hope we've been enjoying the sunny weather we've had today. Well, in the morning anyway. Not so good in the afternoon to this afternoon, but never mind. Good evening, Martin. Hope all is well with you. I did see you this afternoon, and thank you very much for that cable. I hope to be using that for live broadcast. Outdoor live broadcast on Sunday, depending on the weather conditions. We will see. Hopefully we'll do an outdoor live broadcast Sunday. We'll have to see how that one goes. Right, evening, Lucas Dinsdale. Nice to see you, and welcome to Wednesday night's quiz. Ian Miller, good evening to you and your family. Hope all is well with you. We've just had Mark Ganderton. Hello, Mark, and good evening to you all the way from sunny Norwich. Hope all is well with you, and it's not raining as well. I don't know, it might be raining over there. It seems to be raining everywhere at the moment, but never mind. Evening to Mike Yates. How are you tonight, Mike? All right, I trust. And also to Richard Potter. Hello, Richard. Good evening to Wednesday night, almost live virtual pub quiz. So it's almost like we're down the pub, but not quite. Now then, when are the pubs going to be opening? Everybody seems to be angling on this 4th of July malarkey, but I'm not convinced myself. I think we might be looking the end of July. What's the odds on tonight? So we've got Nikki Bowers has just signed in. Good evening, Nikki. How are you? All right, I trust. And John Potter's just signed in. 10% for Sunday night. What's that mean? Oh, is that the beer strength you were on? Are you still on it or what? Or are you going to get me on some for Sunday night? We'll see. Right, Carol's just signed in. Evening, Carol. I hope all is well with you and the family. So that's Home Alone 6 are all there and ready to go. You sure Roy's not watching the football on his other device or something? Because I think he's decided he's watching the football tonight, but we'll see. So Michelle's just signed in. Michelle, good evening to you. So we've got from Crick also, we've got Charlie, Michelle and James have signed in. I hope you managed to get your car fixed after last night's disaster for you, I'm sure. You would have done a lot better last night if you hadn't missed 3 rounds. That doesn't help, does it? But never mind. Oh, we've got the Worcester Brigade just signed in. Hello, good evening, Sarah and the gang. I hope all is well with you. I don't know how many of you do the quiz on a regular basis, Sarah, but the more the merrier, obviously. So good evening to you, and hope all is well with you and the family. Helen and Steve Valentine have just signed in. Good evening to you. Carol Green's just signed in. Good evening, Carol. How are you? Cornish title, aren't they? Sarah says there's 4 of them. That's great. Oh, what a good team of 4. If there might be the odd Worcester question in there tonight, you better look out for that one. What's this? Mark Gandon is saying the gyms are preparing for Monday the 18th of July opening. 1 metre, if 1 metre comes in. I've got the feeling the pubs will be about the same towards the end of July if we're really lucky. But I'm not convinced. Car park going in now. Hire car to get to work. Expensive bills. Oh dear, oh dear. What was it? Slave cylinder went or something? Was this brakes or was this... Never mind. It's not what you want when you're on your way back from somewhere as a car failure. The last thing. Right, I've just had Chris speak. Evening, Chris. Hope all is well with you. I managed to write a quiz today. It's taken me all day long doing my head in, especially about an hour ago when I went to save my Word document and it fell over. First time it's done for a long, long time. And unfortunately, the recovery document I'd lost one of the rounds and I had to write it all over again. Thankfully, it wasn't that hard because I'd only written 5 minutes earlier. So, good evening, Finn. Finn Double Dubell, sorry. Good evening to you. Hope all is well with you. And looking forward to a good quiz tonight. Let's see how we fare. Right, first round tonight, as always, we just use the initial letters of Wednesday, the whatever date it is, the 17th, apparently. So Wednesday 17th, write those letters and numbers down, and they will be the first letters and numbers for the first 13 answers, as is always. Right, we've got the Giffords just signed us from Cambridge. Look out for that Cambridge question tonight. I think there might be one in there. So good evening to Jane and Graham. Hope all is well with you and the family. Nikki Bowers is saying hello, Jim. So hello to Jim. Round number 2 tonight, after the initial letters round number 2, all the answers in round 2 contain the word air, A-I-R. So something with air in it, if that makes any sense. And they're in that order with no gaps. So all the answers contain the word air. Round number 3 tonight is going to be a trivia trail. And I'm sure you've all done a trivia trail before where the last letter of the first answer is the first letter of the next answer. Right, we're through to number 10, where the last letter of number 10 is the first letter of number 1, or answer number 1. That's the trivia trail round. That's round number 3. Dead easy tonight. Round number 4 is called Around the UK. Right, Ian's just signed in. Harry, Ian and Julie, no more time of stroke progress today. Never mind, Ian, that's fine. I'm not expecting any progress. You've done well enough already to identify my fault on my circuit board. It's a sterling job to do that. And also thank you to Martin Davis for making my extra long lead so that I can do a live broadcast on what is the closest day to Midsummer's Day, I suppose it would be, at the weekend. So good evening to you, Ian, and Harry and Julie. Hope you're all faring and ready to do battle tonight. Right, we'll just have Marion signing. Good evening, Marion. Hope all is well with you. Back to join you tonight. That's what I like to see. Hope all is well and you're beginning to get out and about a bit more, enjoying the countryside, the flowers and the wildlife, as I have been doing. What's that? Right, Faye, she's saying, hi Nick, Lydia and all, happy hump day. Oh, that sounds interesting. Is it National Hump Day today, or is it humping day? I don't know, but never mind, whatever that means. Happy whatever. Sounds a good day to me. We ought to introduce a few more proper days, but never mind. Right, round 5 tonight is called 6 of the best. You cannot get easier than this. All the answers contain just 6 letters. Now, I know that's hard for some people to get their concept round, but all the answers are just 6-letter answers. So that's pretty straightforward. And as usual, round number 6 is just an assembly of general trivia that most quizzes should know or nearly know, or whatever, if you know what I mean. So a general trivia round at the end. So we've just had Matthew Blood and PRS have just signed in. Claire, Robin and Matthew, good evening to you all. Hope all family is well tonight, Matthew, and little Barney's doing well, and these tough times for everybody. Good evening, Chris. Hope all is well with you. And Jackie Skip, Wednesday is hump day. Oh, right, that's fair enough. Is that on a regular basis, is it, I suppose? But never mind. Yes, hump, middle of the week. Oh, I get the idea. Yes, never mind. Oh, well, that's fair enough. Right then, what was I asking earlier? Has everybody been out today anywhere? We took my granddaughter out today. Took her to Coombe Abbey. First time we've been over there for a little while. And yeah, it's very nice, actually. The weather held well, and we fed the ducks and the cygnets and the swans and things. So she enjoyed herself running about and trying to get lost with Grandpa. Stuart's been out cycling. Lovely weather for cycling, really. We went out yesterday, did a quick 25, 30 miles or something. But yes, as I say, we had the granddaughter today, so we couldn't get out. So Pick and Mix have just signed in. Good evening to you and the gang. Hope all is well with you and the family. Ready to do battle. Mick Roberts and Mick and Bev have just signed in. Evening, Mick. And I hope you and Bev are both doing well in these tough and tricky times. Jan O'Rourke, Famous 5 have just signed in. Now we're in trouble. Now there's a proper game on our hands. Famous 5 won the quiz just a few weeks ago. Let's see what they can do tonight. In fact, it might have been last week. I can't remember. But we will see how we fare. Right. We are just 5 minutes from kickoff. And then we will be getting on. We've just had Richard Potter on Chancel Pale Ale tonight from New Zealand. That sounds excellent. Paula's just signed in from the Quizzy Rascals. Evening, Paula. Hope all is well with you and the gang. And what beer have you, well, what ales has everybody got tonight? I'm still on my lockdown, but I might be going on because this is right at the end now. We're nearly out of this. I've got some, what have we got up there? Some Brewdog and some Oakham Citrus, so that might have to be, or Stewart's on Hawk's Head Pale, a lovely beer. Paula Lewis is admitting to being on tea. That should mean a very clear brain for tonight's quiz. That's what I like to see. Good evening, everybody. Andrew Lewis has just signed in. Tea Swizzle. Hi, Nick. Hope it's okay if I join you this week. Yes, do feel free. You're more than welcome. We had a question what Tea Swizzle was last week, actually, in the quiz, but never mind. You're more than welcome. We haven't started yet. There are 6 rounds of general trivia. More than welcome to join us tonight. Robin Miller's on Merlot tonight. Are you taking up wine drinking, Robin, in your old age, your dotage? No, Martin Davis is on Hobgoblin. That's what I like to see. Right then, let's just quickly whiz through those rounds again. Round number 1, as I mentioned earlier, is entitled Wednesday the 17th. You need to write down the word Wednesday, top to bottom, followed by 17, followed by the letters TH. So that's Wednesday the 17th. So Leslie's on Ghost Ship. That's Adnan's Ghost Ship, I trust. That's a fine beer. Readily available at the moment. They've been making that, seen that in a few places, but it's a good beer all the same. Not that I've had any in a little while. Round number 2 tonight, as I've mentioned earlier, is entitled All the Answers Contain the Word Air. So there's air somewhere in all the answers. Round number 3 tonight is a trivia trial. Good evening, Adele. How are you? All right, I trust all is well with you. Get your piece of paper ready and a pen and your brains, and we'll see how you fare in the quiz. So, as I said, round 3 is a trivia trial, where the last letter of your first answer is the first letter of your second answer, all the way through until we get to number 10, where the last letter of number 10 is the first letter of number 1. Round number 4 is around the UK. That doesn't help if you come from abroad, but it appears that none of our regulars from California or Toronto are here at the moment tonight. They normally check in on a Sunday, but around the UK, pretty straightforward. 10 questions about specific points around the United Kingdom. Round number 5 tonight is 6 of the best, where all the answers just have 6 letters in each answer. That makes that very easy. And the last round is some general trivia, just general trivia that most quizzes should know, or they should have stored away somewhere in their brain, ready to be used on some crappy old quiz like this one, for instance. But never mind. Right, we have just a couple of minutes left, and then we will. Beverly Hills. Are you in Beverly Hills? Oh, fantastic. Well, around the UK, you might. Did you ever live in the United Kingdom then? Or not? That'd be interesting to know. If you ever lived in the United Kingdom, it makes it easier, obviously, if you know that. I don't know. We did have a team from California the other week, didn't we, in the quiz? Are we kicking off the same time as City Arsenal? Yes, possibly. So T Twizzle has just got. I don't know what time they kick off. Is it? No, I don't know what time the kickoff is tonight for the big game. But never mind. I know 1 or 2 teams will be watching the big game, because it's Arsenal and whatever. But never mind. Oh, they're kicking off now. So are we. So are they at the centre circle yet? Have you got it on in the background, Marion? You're watching 2 things at the same time, aren't you? I know what you like. Here we go then. Right. Round number 1, let's get going. We are just a few seconds from kickoff. So, the first answer, drinking Woodford Reserve, bourbon whiskey again. Excellent. That's a beer, Woodford Reserve, and that's excellent. No mind, Woodford Reserve bourbon whiskey sounds good. Right, first answer has got to start with the letter W. It is now 2015, so it is time for us to get on with the quiz. So, starting with the letter W. W for Wednesday. What is the first line of the nursery rhyme attributed to English poet Robert Southey, which contains the lines frogs and snails and puppy dog tails? So what is the first line of the nursery rhyme attributed to English poet Robert Southey, which contains the lines frogs and snails and puppy dog tails? Remember, that's got to start with a W. And I'm looking for a 6-word answer, that first one. The reference for that one comes from my little book. It's called Ring a Ring of Roses, which is an excellent book all about the origins and meanings of old nursery rhymes. So there we have it. Question number 2. Also known as ground, what is the reference point in an electrical circuit from which voltages are measured? So it's an alternative name. Also known as ground, what is the reference point in an electrical circuit from which voltages are measured? That's got to start with the letter E. E for Eric. Now you're all thinking, I'm sure, but never mind. Question number 3 gets easier for all you beer drinkers. Here we go. In the 1970s, I'm only here for the beer was the advertising slogan penned by Ross Levenstein in 1971. But it's a slogan for which beer? Ian, no idea. Question number 3. In the 1970s, I'm only here for the beer was the advertising penned by Ross Levenstein in the 1971 advert for which beer? I don't know whether I spell that right, Liz, but never mind. Very popular beer around those times. You get it in tins, bottles, get it on draft. Question number 4 is dead easy. Starring Ronnie Barker, what was Fletcher's first names in the ever-popular sitcom Porridge? It's always said right at the beginning of every episode. So starring Ronnie Barker, what was Fletcher's first names in the ever-popular sitcom Porridge? And the first one's got to start with the letter N, of course, to make it even easier for you. And it wasn't Nick, if that helps. Now, question number 5, you'll have to just watch Lydia's chat for the spelling of this word. Question number 5, the Spanish word huevo translates directly into English as what type of foodstuff? Point for each. No, it's a half a point for each there, Marion. Half a point for each. Can't have a point for each. It'd be far too generous. So question number 5, the Spanish word huevo translates directly into English as what type of foodstuff, starting with the letter E? Right, question number 6, as that was far too easy. Starting with the letter S, which makes this a little tricky, which British athlete broke 3 world records in 19-day period in 1985, setting record times in the 1,500 metres and 2,000 metres and the mile? So which British athlete broke 3 world records in a 19-day period in 1985, setting record times in the 1,500 metres, the 2,000 metres and the mile? Hell of an achievement that was. His first name's got to start with the letter S. Question number 7. Perched on the edge of Dartmoor, in which county would you find the pretty village of Crapstone? That's a good place to go, isn't it? Apparently it was made famous by Vinnie Jones in some TV commercial, but never mind. So perched on the edge of Dartmoor, in which county would you find the pretty village of Crapstone? That doesn't really help if you come from Beverly Hills. You better get your map out to help you. Question 8, interesting, starting with the letter A, and it might change this year. According to data released by the Office for National Statistics, for weddings that took place between 1995 and 2013, what is the most popular month of the year to get married in the United Kingdom? So according to data released by the Office for National Statistics for weddings that took place between 1995 and 2013, why 13? I obviously need to update this question a bit. What is the most popular month to get married in the United Kingdom? Got to start with the letter A, so you've not got much choice there. No point putting October down, is it? Question number 9, if I give you the name of the river, I'll give you the name of the thing I'm after. Question number 9, named for its location at the mouth of a small river, what is a town and port in the west of the Isle of Wight? Marion, I went for the other one. What does that mean? I went for the other one. Question number 10, this is for all you that can remember this far back, so we will see. Question number 10, there's 3 clues. I just need the year, and it's got to start. Oh, yes, I went for one or the other. Oh, I said, of course. Right. Yes, in which year did the following take place? The first London Marathon, the wedding of Prince Charles and Diana Spencer, and Ricky Villa's wonder goal in the FA Cup for Spurs against Manchester City. What year did that happen? It's got to start with a 1, of course, so that may help you. It's just the other 3 numbers you've got to get in the right order. So in which year did the following take place? The first London Marathon, the wedding of Prince Charles and Diana Spencer, and Ricky Villa's wonder goal in the FA Cup for Spurs against Manchester City. How many words can you put in chat? Just as... Oh, that's it, is it? It's 200 letters. Question number 11 is dead easy. This starts with the letter 7, so you won't go very far wrong with this one. What number links the number of miles per hour, that is the national speed limit in the United Kingdom for cars, and the number of years of marriage marked by a platinum wedding anniversary? Don't think too long about that one. So what number links the number of miles per hour, that is the national speed limit in the United Kingdom for cars, and the number of years of marriage marked by a platinum wedding anniversary? There's a question in there for everybody, isn't there, surely? Right, question 12 is interesting. This is an anagram. You might like to write this down on a piece of paper. 4 words. Not worth fire engine. So it's not worth fire engine. And it probably wasn't. It could be seen as being an appropriate anagram of the title of which 1970s disaster film? It's a 3-word answer I'm after. Think of the words, it helps somewhat with this one. It's a bit of a clue in there. So not worth fire engine could be seen as being an appropriate anagram of the title of which 1970s disaster film? So 3-word answer. I'm sure you can work that one out. Like it, yeah. That was clever, that one. And finally, question number 13. Listen carefully. Which famous song opens with the lines, "On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitis rising up through the air"? That's just a 2-word answer. So which famous song opens with the lines, "On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitis rising up through the air"? For all those that don't know what colitis is, marijuana or something similar. Right then. Do we need any more time? Just whack it in the chat column quickly if anybody needs any more time. If you don't, we'll do some marking, because don't think there's anything there other than the anagram, which might take a little working out. But even that was a big clue in there, wasn't it? A bit tricky, the year, I suppose. Other than that, I don't mind what I am. Yeah, okay. Just stick that there. Right then, let's go through the answers. Let's see how we go. You reminded me next Wednesday, me and my wife's 20th anniversary. Don't forget that. Don't forget that, for heaven's sake. Can you tell my daughter to stop rabbiting? Nikki's daughter. What's her name, Nikki? Nikki's daughter. Stop rabbiting immediately. Listen to your mother. Right, here we go then. What the poem I was after, which contains the lines "Frogs and snails and puppy dog tails," is called "What Are Little Boys Made Of?" So Jade, take note of your mother and stop rabbiting in the background. She needs your brains. Question number 2, also known as ground. What is the reference point in an electrical circuit from which voltages are measured? That's called earth. Earth, as in the earth pin on your socket. Number 3, in the 1970s, the beer I was after was called Double Diamond. Double Diamond. Evening Team Extreme. I haven't seen you. I hope you're loving it. Good. Well, you should know that one. Number 4, starring Ronnie Barker. Who was Fletcher's first names in the ever popular sitcom Porridge? It was Norman Stanley, as in Norman Stanley Fletcher. I protest. It's girls first. Wait a minute. I've got my book here, Marion. Let me just double check. Yeah, I will double check just to make sure. This is what was it called? What? Wait a minute. I'm just checking the point of reference here. What are the little boys made of? 80. 80. It's even got the date when it was put into print first. No. Such gender stereotypes might jar in contemporary years. This rhyme dates back to the 19th century. No. Sorry. Well, I've got boys down as the first line, so girls come as the second verse. But my wife thought it was the other way. If the lady doth protest too much, I'll give you the point for saying girls or boys. It doesn't really matter as far as I'm concerned. So I'm very lenient on that. I'll tell you what, give yourself half a point. Perhaps I'm not that lenient. Right, where have we got to? Norman Stanley Fletcher. The Spanish word huevo translates as egg. The British athlete that broke 3 world records in a 19-day period was Steve Cram. Number 6, perched on the edge of Dartmoor. In which county would you find the pretty village of Crapstone? That's in Devon. Number 8, according to data released by the Office for the National Statistics, weddings most commonly take place in August. Number 9, named for its location on the mouth of the River Yar. What is a town and port in the west of on the Isle of Wight? It's Yarmouth, of course. Number 10, the year I was after, in which Charles and Diana Spencer got married, was 1981. Number 11, what number links the number of miles per hour that is the national speed limit in the United Kingdom for cars and the number of years of marriage marked by a platinum wedding anniversary? That's 70. Not worth fire engine. And that's a good one. If you rearrange those letters, you should end up with that 1970s disaster film called The Towering Inferno. You can, Roy. Don't worry. Which famous song opens with a line on a dark desert highway called Wind in My Hair, warm smell of colitis rising up through the air? That was Hotel California, of course, by the Eagles. Right then, let's have some scores in and see how you've fared. Yeah, I'm going to allow that half point for the girls. I haven't seen it in my book. It's not my book. I can do it. It's a bit tricky sometimes. You need to do a bit more research to just double, triple, and quadruple check. So here we are. Let's get some scores in then. So we've got 10.5. We've got Marion on 10.5. We've got Richard Potter on 12. That's a very good one. Jenny Graham and friends are also on 12 points. Mike Yates on 11. Stuart Colwell's on 11. Ian Mills on 12. Martin Davies is on 12. Mick Roberts on 11. Chris Speaks on 12. PRS are on 13 points. Michelle Gibbons on a steady 11. We've got the Booper Prize girls on 11. Leslie Barrett's on 9. With Sarah on 11.5 in brackets. Helen and Steve Valentine on 13. Pick a Mixer on 12. T Swivel on 12. Carol Green's on 10. Andrew Lewis is on 11.5. Team Extremer on 9 points. Ian Sharrett and the gang are on 12 points. Chris Mead split the difference on 13. Mark Gannington, what's this? Football fans went 100 days without football. No, 11. Right. China O'Rourke, the fans 5, 11.5 points. Roger Griffiths on 10. Mark Gannington's on 11. Kim Levy, Britain's on 12. Carol Jackson, Home Alone with a cracking 13 points. And the Quizzy Rascals and Paula Lewis on a cracking 13 points. So we've got 3 or 4 teams there with 13. The rest of you just a point or so down. Right then, round number 2. Oh, Nikki Bowser's come in with a 12 there. Nicely, Nikki. Has she stopped rabbiting in the background yet? Right then, round number 2. All the answers contain the word air. A-I-R in that order with no breaks between them. So listen carefully. Number 1, you'll be able to work this one out. Which company produced and marketed the first commercially viable fly-by-wire airliner, the A320? I think most of us will have been on one of those, I'm sure. Oh, the Giffers have just come in with a 12. So which company produced and marketed the first commercially viable fly-by-wire airliner called the A320? It's a one-word answer. It's got to contain the word air in it somewhere. That can't be too tricky. Well, it might be for our friends in America. Probably never heard of them. But never mind. Oh, something hard in my pocket. Oh, it's my phone. Dear. Question number 2, listen carefully. First introduced at the London Motor Show in October 1963, which mid-sized Ford motor car used the Essex V4 petrol engine, which was infamous for their rough running characteristics and reliability problems. I think the word word can come out there, Alex. So question 2 again. First introduced at the London Motor Show in October 1963, which mid-sized Ford motor car used the Essex V4 petrol engine, infamous for their rough-running characteristics and reliability problems. Great engine, that. Don't know who designed it. They clearly not even bothered. So it's just the model of the car I'm after. Question number 3. What is a term in Old Scottish meaning babe or child? The term is also used down the northeast coast of England, namely Northumberland and the east of Yorkshire, though with varied spellings and pronunciations. It's a single word answer I'm after there. So what is a term in Old Scottish term meaning babe or child? It's also used down the northeast coast of England, namely Northumberland and the east coast of Yorkshire, though with varied spellings and pronunciation. Yeah, you can get rid of half of that, actually. Now remember, all these answers have got air in them somewhere. A-I-R, in that order. Question number 4. What was the former name of a sovereign African state between 1971 and 1997 that is now known as the Democratic Republic of Congo? So question 4 again. What was the former name of a sovereign African state between 1971 and 1997 that is now known as the Democratic Republic of Congo? It's just a one-word answer. Okay, change genre to title. So question 5. Known as Patience in the United Kingdom, what other name is used for this card game in the USA and Canada? It's a type of card game that can be played by a single player. So known as Patience in the United Kingdom, what other name is used for this card game in the USA and Canada? It's a type of card game that can be played by a single player. It's a single word answer, of course, with the word air buried in there somewhere. Question number 6, something you all love, I'm sure. What name is given to an oblong pastry made with choux dough, filled with cream and topped with icing or chocolate? I think it's supposed to be then filled. That's filled. But question 6 again. What name is given to an oblong pastry made with choux dough that's filled with cream and topped with icing or chocolate? Can't remember the last time I had one of those, but it was very nice, I'm sure. Question number 7 just needs a bit of thought. You'll get there. That's where I lost. I lost a bit of this question when I lost my quiz earlier. Never mind. Question number 7. Kelly Chamandi patented what small metal fashion device in 1925, which is still used extensively today? The question should have carried on telling you that it actually was first introduced by the Chinese in 300 BC. So it's been around that long. But surprisingly, some Canadian managed to patent it way back in 25. So Kelly Chamandi patented what small metal fashion device in 1925, which is still being extensively in use today. And remember, it's got to have air, A-I-R, somewhere in the answer. There's 2 commas got to go in there, Liz. Is it buffering too much, Jono? If anybody's experienced buffering problems, do try switching off and back on again. I'm a fast connection here, so it may be at your home, or it may be that everybody's watching the football tonight, I suppose. There's probably half the population watching Man City versus Arsenal. So question number 8. Which of the UK's national parks, which is also the largest, lies furthest north? So question 8 again. Which of the UK's national parks, which is also the largest, lies furthest north? Roy, sound IT advice. It is, Roy. Off and on, always does the trick, doesn't it? It's a good chance. It's better than watching it going round and round and round all the time. That was the national park that me and my wife, 2 years ago, almost to the day, broke our speed record going through that park at 46 miles an hour on our marvellous 10 down a big hill. We could have gone faster, but I thought the tyres might blow up, so I was chickening. So I thought we'd better slow down a bit. Right, question number 9. What type of creature is Tinkerbell, a fictional character from J.M. Barrie's 1904 play? So question number 9 again. What type of creature is Tinkerbell, a fictional character from J.M. Barrie's 1904 play? Remember, we're looking for airs in all of these answers somewhere. And finally, question number 10, going back to the London Marathon. David Weir has won the London Marathon on 4 occasions, but what type of transport did he use? So question 10 again, dead easy. David Weir has won the London Marathon on 4 occasions, but what type of transport did he use? Right, is everybody happy with those 10? Or do we need any repeats? All the questions are up on the chat on the right-hand side. Let's use your brains, not Wikipedia. We don't need any of that business. In which case, let's go back and do some marking then and see how we fare in this air round. It wasn't too difficult. Number 2 might have been a bit tricky, but other than that, I think we're all right. Right then, question number 1. The answer was Airbus, of course. Airbus, the company that produced the A320. Number 2, the first introduced at the London Motor Show, it was the Ford Corsair. The Ford Corsair that had the V4 S6 petrol engine. Number 3, a term in Old Scottish meaning baby or child. It was a bairn I was after, a bairn, B-A-I-R-N. Number 4, what's the former name of the sovereign African state? Now known as the Democratic Republic of Congo. It was formerly known as Zaire. Zaire. Well, I'm sure a lot of you still thought that existed. Question number 5, known as patience in the United Kingdom. In the US and Canada, it's often termed as solitaire. Solitaire. Number 6, I was after an eclair, of course, an eclair. That oblong pastry that's filled with cream and topped with chocolate. Number 7, that was a tricky one. Kelly Chamandi patented the hairpin. She patented the hairpin. It had been around for 2,500 years or something. She decided to patent it, so presumably it was her particular design that we're all familiar with today. Number 8, that national park that lies furthest north in the United Kingdom is the Cairngorms, National Park, where I set my speed record on my tandem. Number 9, what type of creature is Tinkerbell? She was a fairy. And finally, number 10, David Weir, of course, the transport used was a wheelchair, And you'll notice all those answers somewhere had the word air written in them. Right then, that's how you fared. I think most people might have a few 10 out of 10s there as well. So let's get some scores in and see how you're faring. Right, here we go then. Richard Potter with 22, Ian's with 22. What's that, Robin Miller? On your electric tandem. You're right. Not that that makes any difference when you're going that speed down a hill. Leslie, what's this? Gutted to learn. Oh, what's that? What's he put down? Gutted to learn Tinkerbell was fictional. Oh. Carol Green with a 10. Sarah's on 20. Mick Roberts on 20. Stuart Colwell's on 19. Roger Griffiths on 19. Carol Jackson, Home Alone 6, doing very well on 23 points. Mike Yates on 20, Michelle's on 20, Chris Peaks on 22, great score there. Ian Miller on 22 as well, great score there. Jenny Graham and friends are on 22. We've got Team Extreme on a fantastic 19 points. Matthew Blood and PRS haven't dropped a point yet. They're on 23 points as well. Helen and Steve Valentine on 22. John O'Rourke and the Famous Five, they didn't drop one there on 21.5. Jane Gifford from Cambridge and the gang on 22 points. Jackie Skip, the Booby Prize girls are on 20. Pick a Mix on 21. We then have Andrew Lewis on 21.5, Nicky Bowers 22, Martin Davis 22, half a point ahead there of Andrew Lewis. T Swizzle doing ever so well on 22 points. We've got Split the Difference on 23. We've got Paula Lewis and the Quizzy Rascals on 23. Mark Gannington's on 15, Mum's on 20.5. John Potter, are you running low on beer? Swallow glass. Well, not yet. No, we're doing fine. Right, it appears we've got a lot of teams that did quite well on that round. Right, round number 3 tonight is the Trivia Trail, where the last letter, so we've got Leslie Barrett, 19 points, well done, Sib. We'll do all right in the Trivia Trail, pretty straightforward stuff. Right, any more scores to come in, or are we happy? Trivia Trail, here we go then. Now take the last letter of your first answer, it's the first letter of your second answer. Which actor who died on the April 5th, 2008 was originally considered for the role of Chief Brody in the 1975 film Jaws and won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his portrayal of Ben-Hur? That makes it a bit easy, doesn't it? So, which actor who died on 5th of April 2008 was originally considered for the role of Chief Brody in the 1975 film Jaws and won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his portrayal of Ben-Hur? That's a two-word answer. You take the last letter of his surname, and it's the first letter of number 2. So question number 2. In which Australian state or territory would you find the Adelaide River? Now, you've got a letter from the previous answer, so make that pay. In which Australian state or territory will you find the Adelaide River? And that's a two-word answer, of course. Well, not of course, but it's a two-word answer. Do you remember it starts with the last letter of number 1? And as we've got one or two teams never done a trivia trial, I'm sure, before, take the last letter of that answer, which should be a two-word answer, and it's the first letter of this. Question number 3, this is a bit trickier. Released as the first single from their album, Flag, The Race was a famous pop song by which Swiss band? It's also been used in a number of films. So question number 3, released as the first single from their album, Flag, The Race was a famous pop song by which Swiss band? Remember to use your letters from the previous answer. So take the last letter from the previous answer. It's the first letter of that one-word group. That's a single-word answer. Question number 4, spoken by Iago. The phrase "a green-eyed monster" originated in which Shakespearean play? So, spoken by Iago. The phrase "a green-eyed monster" originated in which Shakespearean play? Right, take the last letter of that play, and it's the first letter of this bird. Question number 5. Little, Eurasian, eagle, and burrowing are all types of which species of bird? Little, Eurasian, eagle, and burrowing are all types of which species of bird? It's a one-word answer. Don't tell me Boris Johnson's got whiplash. No? It's all right. The news keeps going on the phone. I don't know what's happening. It's probably football schools or something. I won't bother telling you the football school. Question number 6. Remember to take the last letter of that bird, and it's the first letter of this character's name. Sorry, this actor's name. Who plays Billy Costigan in the 2006 Oscar-winning film The Departed? It's a good film. So question 6, who plays Billy Costigan in the 2006 Oscar-winning film The Departed? Oh, Marion's telling me there are no scores. Ah, I knew you were watching two things at once, Marion, you see. No, I don't suppose she is watching it. Now, that was a two-word answer I'm after, obviously, his surname. So take the last letter of that actor's surname, and it's the first letter of this. Question number 7. Sand consists of silicon and what other element, which was originally called fire air? So sand consists of silicon and what other element, which was originally called fire air? Arian's multitasking. We do a quiz. Well, we used to do a quiz on Thursday night at the Jolly Abbot in town, and what's his name? In Hillmorton. Kevin used to have the football on and permanently in the background whilst he was doing the quiz. He got one eye on that lot, one eye on his thing, but he seemed to be able to do it all right. Never mind. Right, take the last letter of question number 7. Of your answer to number 7. It is the first letter of answer number 8. Which American city, this is number 8, was formerly known as New Amsterdam at the beginning of the 17th century? That's right, Fire Air. That's what it was originally called, Carol, apparently. So question 8 again. Which American city was formerly known as New Amsterdam at the beginning of the 17th century? Did you know something? I can't. Stop it. Sorry. I think we all know what New Amsterdam was, surely. So question number 9. With a newly named capital city known as Nur Sultan, what is the largest landlocked country in the world? It would help if I told you the previous name, but I changed it. So with a newly named capital city known as Nur Sultan, what is the largest landlocked country in the world? That's a one-word answer. And if you take the last letter of that answer, it is the first letter of answer number 10. So question number 10, which one word is a term to describe a cultural group of countries which include Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway and Sweden, as well as Greenland and the Faroe Islands? It's just a one word I'm after for this. So which one word is a term to describe a cultural group of countries which include Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway and Sweden, as well as Greenland and the Faroe Islands? Now take the last letter of that one word, and it should be the first letter of the actor in number 1, answer number 1. So it goes all the way around to the beginning again. So the answer, the last letter of number 10 is the first letter of number 1. Right then, you should have a continuous trail now. That's why we call it a trivia trail, with each answer ending with the letter that the next answer begins with. Always with number 10, and number 10 takes you back to number 1. So we're happy with all those. Anybody need any more time, or are we going at about the right pace? I don't want to go too fast if people need a bit more time, right? Yeah, I think so. Lids, we're getting there. You can go and fill a bit up after there if you like, Lids. Do you know how to do it? No, it's all right. Just talk. You might need to tilt the whole thing up like that. Got to press the button. It's nearly empty. That's the problem. Sorry, just talk amongst yourselves. I was just talking about beer topping up. My daughter's just gone to the bathroom to top my beer up. No, I don't get it out the bath. It's just kept there in a nice cool place. Well, there is nowhere cool in my house, but never mind. Right then, I think we've probably had enough time, have we? Can you say 3 again? Yes, number 3. Ah, yes, that was a tricky one. Released as the first single from their album Flag, The Race was a famous pop song by which Swiss band? It's a one-word answer. You should have the first letter, and hopefully you've got the last letter as well from your next answer. So can you fill the middle bit in? Yeah, Kim could scroll. Right then, okay, let's go back to number 1 then. Nick, put your beer in the fridge. We've been on about it. We've had various problems with lack of storage in our fridge. As there's only me and the wife, we haven't got a huge fridge. It's a nice fridge freezer, don't get me wrong, a nice big upright Samsung, but it's not big enough to put all my beer in as well. I need a separate beer fridge, but I've got no room in my house for it, which is a bit of a problem. Right then, round, here we go, trivia trial, let's go through them. The act trials afterwards, of course, Charlton Heston. That gave you the N for Northern Territory. That gave you the Y for the pop group, Yellow, if you've ever heard of them. That gave you the O in turn for Othello. That gave you the O for the owl, as in the Eurasian eagle and burrowing. That gave you the L for Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio. That gave you the O, of course, question number 7, fire air, better known as oxygen. Number 9, I was after New York, of course, formerly known as New Amsterdam. That gave you the K for that landlocked country. Now the capital is Nur Sultan, is Kazakhstan. I think the capital used to be Astana, because I remember that because we played them at football once. And finally, number 10, of course, taking the N and with a C on the end, the one-word term to describe a cultural group of countries. They're Nordic, as in Nordic countries. Yes, that's a good suggestion, Matt. I could throw all the food out. When I was in the Merchant Navy, I did know many people that just had a large beer fridge and nothing else. So we have. What's that? Dephlogisticated air. That sounds good. Dephlogisticated air. Great. Okay. Sarah's on 30. Great score there. We got the Quizzy Rascals on 33. Mike Yates is on 28. We got Martin Davis on 30. Jane Gifford and the gang on 30. We got Mike Roberts on 28. Chris Speaks on 32. Roger Griffiths 28. We got Leslie Barrett's on 28. Michelle Gibbons on 30. Mumsy's on 27.5. Booby Prize Girls are on 29. T Swizzle on 30. Carol Green on 27. Richard Potter's on 29. We've got, oh, well, it's just gone off the screen. Helen and Steve Valentine on 32. Ian Miller's on 32. Nikki Bowers on 32. We've got Andrew Lewis on 29.5. Pigamix on 31. The Famous Five on 31.5. PRS are on 33 points. Chris Speak. What's this? Don't put real alien in the fridge. Far too cold. You're right. Stuart Colwell 2017. Kim Levy's on 30. We've got Split the Difference on 33. Mark Garrington's on 27. We've got Ian, Harry, Julian Ian are on 32 points. Team Extreme are on 29 points. Home Alone 33. Good job. We're a team of 6. Excellent. There's got to be some there you didn't get then, Carol, on your own. Jenny Graham and friends, 31 points. Well, that's the whole idea of having a team, Carol. Not everybody knows everything all the time. It's just to have a few on your team, a few, and then, yeah, fair play to you. Right, so we've got 4 teams at the moment on 33 points, so it's all to play for. Next round tonight is called Around the UK. Around the UK. How do you know your geography around the United Kingdom? Not too tricky, pretty straightforward stuff. Doesn't help, of course, if you come from Beverly Hills, but never mind, I live in Beverly Hills. Right then, here we go. Question number 1. At 58.2 degrees north, which would put you well in line with the parallel with Alaska, what is the most northerly point of mainland Britain? So at 58.2 degrees north, what is the most northerly point of mainland Britain? I will specify that because some people thought Ireland was in mainland Britain last week, so let's not get that wrong. Question number 2 is specifically designed for the Giffords and anybody else from Cambridge at the moment. What one word describes a picturesque area to the east of Queen's Road in the city of Cambridge, where several colleges lead out onto the River Cam? It's a one-word name for that. So what one word describes a picturesque area to the east of the Queen's Road in the city of Cambridge, where several colleges lead out onto the River Cam? I had to do a bit of research on that question today, simply because it didn't seem right, the question I was asking, which was off some website. I thought, that can't be right, and it wasn't. Bias question for the Giffords. You're right. Nikki, you better tell me. Right, let's try this one then. Question number 3. At a total length of 236 miles with 45 junctions, which motorway is Britain's longest? No, we'll be worrying about the payments later. So question 3 again, at a total length of 236 miles with 45 junctions, which motorway is Britain's longest? That's a straightforward quiz question. We all need to know that one. Shouldn't be doing a quiz without knowing that one, should we? What's that? Question number 4. The Government Communications Headquarters, GCHQ, is based near which Gloucestershire town? So question 4 again. The Government Communication Headquarters, GCHQ, is based near which Gloucestershire town? Question number 5 is a bit of general trivia that I didn't know the answer to. I'm kicking myself for not knowing this one, but never mind. Let's see how many of you know this one. Question number 5. Which English county with a sea border has the shortest coastline? So which English county with a sea border has the shortest coastline? Hey, now looking at Lydia. Getting any clues? Good. Oh, just checking, making sure there's no shenanigans going on. That's a good word, shenanigans. I don't know where that comes from. Question number 6. Another place that I've cycled a few times. Situated to the west of Bridgewater in Somerset, what hills were designated England's first area of outstanding natural beauty in 1956? They're quite famous. So situated to the west of Bridgewater in Somerset, what hills were designated England's first area of outstanding natural beauty back in 1956? Could be. Question number 7. The Prime Minister's country residence is known as Chequers, but in which county would you find it? So question 7 again, the Prime Minister's country residence is known as Chequers, but in which county would you find it? Frolicsomeness, yes, that's a good word. Shenanigans is a good word. That's got to be Gaelic, hasn't it? I don't know. Horseplay and frolicsomeness. Oh dear. I've been trying to teach my granddaughter some long words. I've been trying to teach her the word lugubrious for at least a month or 2 now. she can say it. She hasn't got a clue what it means, but never mind. Question number 8. Which body of water separates the Isle of Wight from mainland Britain? So which body of water separates the Isle of Wight from mainland Britain? That was pretty straightforward, I think. So question number 9, this is a little tricky, eh? Situated near the River Severn, which cathedral contains the tomb of King John in its chancel and a memorial to the young Prince Arthur Tudor, brother of Henry VIII? So situated near the River Severn, which cathedral contains the tomb of King John in its chancel and a memorial to the young Prince Arthur Tudor, brother of Henry VIII? Yes, we've got one team that will get that, I'm sure. And finally, question number 10 in this round, Britain round. Born on November 1728, which British explorer, navigator, cartographer and captain in the British Royal Navy was born in Marton in Cleveland, now a suburb of Middlesbrough? Come on, that can't be too hard. So born on November 1728, which British explorer, navigator, cartographer and captain in the British Royal Navy was born in Marton in Cleveland, now a suburb of Middlesbrough. There is a nice little memorial there for him. What's Jackie put? My answer to UK's most northern point was Land's End. Play has her work cut out tonight. That's fair. That's fair. That's why you always need more than one in a team, Jackie. Just to say, it can't be that. Oh dear. Right then, have we had long enough on that round? I have my work cut out every night, oh dear. Oh dear. Right then, let's go back to the beginning of this round and see how you fared. Right then, Man City. Oh, I'd better not. Oh, you've just put it on the chat. I didn't say that in case somebody's waiting in bated breath to watch it later or something, Marion, but never mind. Here we go then. Here's the answers. At 58.2 degrees north, what is the most northerly point of mainland Britain? It's Dunnet Head, or more specifically, you could have put Easter Head, which is the exact point of the highest point, but never mind. So Dunnet Head or Easter Head will both do for me. Question number 2. What one word describes a picturesque area to the east of the Queen's Road in the city of Cambridge? It's called the Cambridge Backs. It's called the Backs. And it's basically the area where the Cam flows behind each of the colleges in Cambridge. Not all of them, but it does, several of the colleges. Number 3, at a total length of 236 miles, it's the M6, which is Britain's longest motorway. GCHQ is closest to Cheltenham, of course, or is in Cheltenham. The English county with the shortest sea border, shortest coastline even, is Durham, County of Durham. Well done if you got that, because I didn't know that. Number 6, situated to the west of Bridgewater in Somerset. Me and the wife actually cycled up and over these, and we got a pain in them. It's the Quantocks. You don't want to get a pain in the Quantocks. I don't think she got it. Never mind. Question number 7. Prime Minister's country residence in Chequers is in Buckinghamshire. Which body of water separates the Isle of Wight from mainland Britain? That's the Solent. Situated near the River Severn, which cathedral contains the tomb of King John? That's Worcester Cathedral. I don't know if you got that. Born on November 1728, which British explorer, navigator, cartographer and captain was born in Marton in Cleveland? That is James Cook. Robin's put the Backs is 2 words. It is. Did I say 1 word? I don't know whether it's just known as Backs. Never mind, Robin. I'm sure you would have put that down if you'd have known it anyway, wouldn't you, sir? I thought that. Oh, right. Never mind. We can't be right all the time. But Right, and here we go with some scores in. We have Chris Speak and the gang on 40 points. That's a very good score. Stuart Colwell's in with 31. We got Marion with 36.5. Roger Griffiths with 36. Famous 5 with 39.5. Mick Roberts on 36. He would have done well there. Oh, we did. Oh, we did. Ian Miller 39. We've got Martin Harris on 36. Sarah's on 36. Richard Potter's on 37. Mark Allen's on 34. We've got Andrew Lewis 34.5. Paul Ramford on 35. Michelle, oh dear. Ian, Julian, Harrier on 39. We've got Boom Prize Girls on 33. We've got Helen and Steve Valentine, 38. Carol Green, only 4, which makes 31. Oh, that's a shame. Jenny Graham and friends on 32. PRS on 42 points. Leslie Barrett on 37. We've got Pick a Mix, 36. Paul round for them as well. Oh, dear. Extreme. Is John O'Groats not the most northerly point? No, it's not. Unfortunately. I'm actually cycling the Extreme Points of Britain, hopefully next year, Team Extreme. I've been to John O'Groats. It's only about 4 miles away from Dunnet Head, but yeah, Dunnet Head is about another mile or so north, actually, of John O'Groats. It's just I don't know why John O'Groats is actually the most northwest easterly point. Carol Jackson, home alone, with 6 on 39 points. Leslie Barrett says no, whatever that means. Chris Meads, split the difference on 41 points. T-Swizzle, struggle for us. Well, it would be around England, unfortunately. You did pretty well there. Stinky round from Finn Double on 34. Leslie Barrett, I thought it was Cape Wrath. No, that's to the west Cape Wrath. Never mind. Team Extreme, 34 for us. Jane Gifford on 38. Nikki Bowers on 39. The Quizzy Rascals are also on 43 points. That's some great score. And Mike Yates is on 32 points. So we've got 2 teams at the moment in the lead on 43 points. Right, all those close by. Well, at least, no, we haven't. We've got PRS on 32. 42. Quizzy Rascals are on their own, I think. Split the difference on. So we've got 41, 42, and 43 points. Right then, next round is called 6 of the best. 6 of the best. All the answers are just 6-letter answers. 6-letter answers. So if we got 2 words, 3 words, whatever, they're all 6-letter answers. Pretty straightforward stuff. Here we go then. Question 1, eyes down, look in. Which is the only non-European country to host the FIFA World Cup finals more than once? So which is the only non-European country to host the FIFA World Cup finals more than once? Remember, it's a 6-letter answer. Come on, Roy, I'm sure you got that straight away. Question number 2, also a 6-letter answer. In Egyptian mythology, who was the god of embalming, who also kept watch over the dead? So, in Egyptian mythology, who was the god of embalming, who also kept watch over the dead? I'll put the word also in front of that, please. Next question. Also. Question number 3. Also, Shakespeare's longest. In which Shakespeare play would you find the character Ophelia? So there's two clues in that one. So also Shakespeare's longest. In which Shakespeare play would you find the character Ophelia? Question number 4. The Millau Viaduct, the world's highest road bridge, is a multi-span cable-stayed bridge completed in 2004 in which European country? So question 4 again, the Millau Viaduct, the world's highest road bridge, is a multi-span cable-stayed bridge completed in 2004 in which European country? I think it was designed by Sir Norman Foster. Put me right, somebody. Definitely a British architect. That's if he was British. Question number 5. Which Central American state is also the common name used for a traditional brimmed straw hat of Ecuadorian origin? So question 5 again. Which Central American state is also the common name used for a traditional brimmed straw hat of Ecuadorian origin? Go on, Andrew, she'll get that straight away. Yeah, I feel so as well. Oh, bother. Question number 6. What is the name given to a beam placed above a window or door to give the brickwork above structural support? So what is the name given to the beam placed above a window or a door to give the brickwork above structural support? Remember, all these answers you're putting down have just got to have 6 letters. So if they're not 6 letters long, they're wrong. Well, either that or I've got it wrong. I wouldn't put it past me, but there you go. Oh, it is warm tonight. What's the temperature in here? 26 degrees in here. 26, yeah, it's nearly 80 degrees in here. Yeah, no wonder I'm feeling warm. Question number 7. In 1978, which European country became the first to ban aerosol sprays thought at the time to damage the ozone layer? So in 1978, which European country became the first to ban aerosol sprays thought at the time to damage the ozone layer? Question number 8, for you classical fans. Which prolific Salzburg-born composer was responsible for writing the 1793 opera Der Zauberflöte? Oh, nice easy one that. So which prolific Salzburg-born composer was responsible for writing the 1793 opera Der Zauberflöte? It's still nice and light outside, actually, isn't it? The sky's gone clear. The cloud seems to have just about disappeared. It's gone light all of a sudden. Question number 9. What nationality was Copernicus, the astronomer who showed that the Earth rotated around the sun? So question 9 again. What nationality was Copernicus, the astronomer who showed that the Earth rotated around the sun? And finally, question number 10. Also, the state capital of Colorado, the TV series Dynasty was set in which American city? So question 10 again. Also, the state capital of Colorado, the TV series Dynasty was set in which American city? Right, that's your lot there. Now, all your answers should just be 6 letters long, hopefully. Ah, a little bit of classic Dynasty. Never did watch it, to be fair. God, it would have been all over quizzes, wouldn't it, in the 70s? I'm sure. Dear God. Right then, I suppose we've all had about long enough of that. So should we go around and do some marking for 6 of the best? This is the penultimate round, round 5, 6 of the best. Here we go then. Are we ready to do some marking? Yes, I think we are. The question number 1, which is the only non-European country to host FIFA World Cup finals more than once? That is Mexico. Mexico. Number 2, in Egyptian mythology, who was the god of embalming, who also kept watch over the dead? That's Anubis. Number 3, also Shakespeare's longest. In which Shakespeare play would you find the character Ophelia? That's the play called Hamlet, of course. Number 4, the Millau Viaduct, the world's highest road bridge, is in France, of course. Was it? Does anybody know whether it was actually Norman Foster that designed it? I can't remember. Need to look that up again. Leslie Barrett, done it ahead of latitude 48, 58. I need to look that up. I can't argue with you over that. I'm sure you're wrong, Leslie, but never mind. Number 5, which Central American state is also the common name used for a traditional brimmed straw hat of Ecuadorian origin? That's a Panama, of course, a Panama hat. That's just the fact they're made in Ecuador, but they originated in Ecuador. Number 6, what is the name given to a beam placed above a window or door? That's a lintel, a lintel. Well done if you got that. Number 7, in which European country became the first to ban the aerosol sprays? That was Sweden. Sweden were first to do that. Number 8, which prolific Salzburg-born composer was responsible for writing Des Eberflute? That, of course, was Mozart. Number 9, the nationality of Copernicus, he was Polish. Well done if you got that. And number 10, also the state capital of Colorado, the TV series Dynasty was set in which American city? That was set in Denver. Don't know what. Brazil hosted the World Cup in 1959-2004. Have I got an old question, John? I might have done that. Yeah, let me just double check that, John. I'm sure you're probably right, actually, because of course they did host it in 2004. Brazil, 1950. 1950 World Cup. Yes. Right. Yeah, sorry about that, John. You are quite right. I don't doubt you at all with that one. So let's just go back to that. Brazil. Yes, Brazil was it. So Brazil or Mexico, because they both hosted it. I need to change that question just in case I ever ask it again. Brazil hosted the World Cup, of course, in 1950 and again in 2004. Yeah, with Brazil, that's fine. I will allow Brazil answers, no problem at all with that. Right, let's just go through some scores, see where we are. We have the Quizzy Rascals on 51 points, Mick Roberts on 45 points. We've got Martin Davis on 44 points. We have, Mumsy, Marion's on 35.5 points. We've got Sarah on 43 points. We've got Matthew Budd, PRS on 50 points. Mike Yates is on 43 points. We've got Carol Jackson, Home Alone, 6 on 48 points. Don't worry, I'll come back to that one, Sif, the latitude thing. Right, Jackie Skip, the Booby Prize Girls on 41 points. We've got Ian Sharon, Helen and Julie on 48 points. Carol Green's on 36 points. Richard Potter's on 46. Nikki Bowers is on 45 points. Stuart Caldwell's on 36 points. Team Extreme, 43 points. For us, doing incredibly yet again. Well done, them. Ian Miller's on 46 points. Jane Kifford's on 45 points. T. Swizzle on 44 points. Leslie Barrett's on 44 points. Michelle's on 45 points. I've lost a few now. Oh, bother. Where have I got to? Oh. Sorry. It's when it goes off the edge of the screen and it comes back in there. Let's go back again. So we've got Leslie Barrett on 45 then. Paula Lewis and Quizzy Rascals on 51. Carol Green's on 37. But Andrew Lewis, 41.5. Stuart Cole on 37. Mike Yates with 44. I'm giving you Brazil, no problem. Jenny Graham and friends on 44. We've got Helen and Steve Valentine, 47. We've got Split Difference on 51. Jackie Skip, Booby Prize Girls on 42. Roger Griffiths is on 43. We have John O'Rourke, Famous 5, 48.5. Very close there. Ian Sharrett, correction. Harry Julian Ian on 49 points. We've got PRS with a correction on 51 points. And we've got Mark Hamilton on 41 points. Right then, let's go back. Yeah, I'll have a look at that, Sif, when it may be this, I don't know, we might need to get the Googleometer because Dunnet Head's quite big. And it depends where they judge where Dunnet Head, whether it's that's what I say, if you actually put in, what was the other part called? It wasn't Dunnet Head, it was some other head. Anyway, if you put the other bit in, that might come up a bit further north. Right, let us see. We're going into the last round now. Mark Ganson on 41 points. So let's see where we are. We've got PRS on 51 points. We've got Ian Sharrett and the gang on 49 points. We've got Fans 5 on 48.5. Split the Difference on 51. We've got Quizzy Rascals on 51 points. We've got Chris Speak on 50 points. We've got 48, 40. Oh, we've got Carol Home Alone 6 on 48 points. So there's plenty of 48s, 49s, 50s, and the odd 51 there. Right, into the last round there. These are just general trivia questions that most people should know, or I say most quiz teams should know. So if you don't get 10 out of 10 on this round, you need to beef up on your general crap. I mean, your general trivia. Here we go then. Question number 1, listen carefully. Who is reported to have said to his wife, "Honey, I forgot to duck," after an assassination attempt in 1981? Very famous assassination attempt. Who is reported to have said to his wife, "Honey, I forgot to duck," after an assassination attempt in 1981? Bringing the can out now, anyway. Question number 2. Starring Kevin Spacey, the line, "I can't feel anything but gratitude for every single moment of my stupid little life," comes from which Oscar-winning film? So starring Kevin Spacey, the line, "I can't feel anything but gratitude for every single moment of my stupid little life," comes from which Oscar-winning film? Right then, question number 3. Question number 3, listen carefully. Meaning east in Russian, what was the name of the Soviet spaceflight program that saw Yuri Gagarin become the first human in space? It helps if you know your geography, this one. So meaning east in Russian, what was the name of the Soviet spaceflight program that saw Yuri Gagarin become the first human in space? Question number 4, you just need to think around the board really with this one. So question number 4, which property on the Monopoly board, oh, Mick Roberts loves these, is not a street, but was originally a coaching inn? To give you help, you haven't got to go far around the board. So which property on the Monopoly board is not a street, but was originally a coaching inn? I have no idea when it's still there or not. It might be. Question number 5. Sure you'll all like this one. Which group of people are best known for their cheery, door-to-door preaching and distributing literature such as the Watchtower and Awake? So which group of people are best known for their cheery, door-to-door preaching and the distributing literature such as the Watchtower and Awake? Question number 6, a good old nursery rhyme question again. According to the old nursery rhyme, what would cost you 1 a penny, 2 a penny? So according to the old nursery rhyme, what would cost you 1 a penny, 2 a penny? I bet Roy got that one straight away, didn't you, Roy? I bet you've got one eye on the football, haven't you? Or are you watching it? You got your earplug in or something? Question number 7 is one for you to work out. A little bit of paper, you'll soon work this one out. What one word can follow the words house and paying and precede the word list? So listen carefully again, you might like to write this down. What one word can follow the words house and paying and precede the word list? Lydia's written it in the chat column. Round 6, question 7. There it is. So see whether you can work out the word that's missing. Question number 8. It's a good old quiz question, this one. What is the first bridge that the boats pass under in the annual Oxford versus Cambridge boat race? So question 8 again. What is the first bridge that the boats pass under in the annual Oxford versus Cambridge boat race? Right, just 2 questions to go, then we can wrap up tonight's quiz. It might all be down to these last 2 questions. See how we do. Question number 9. What is the name of the lines on an ordnance survey map that join places of equal height? Another for the Giffords. What boat race in London? I bet they've never been there. I bet they've never seen the boat race. Another one for the Giffords. Come on, Nikki, what road do you live in? I'll see whether we can ask some specifically for your area of the town or whatever. Let me know where you live and I'll put some questions in for it, you know. So question 9 again. What is the name of the lines on an ordnance survey map that join places of equal height? And finally, question number 10, which is not an easy one. I'm sure Carol Jackson will get this one straight away. Which of Giuseppe Verdi's operas premiered on December the 24th, 1871? The Cathedral Opera House in Cairo. It's divided into 4 acts and takes place in ancient Egypt. Cathedral. Say Cathedral. So question number 10 again. Which of Giuseppe Verdi's operas premiered on December the 24th, that's my birthday, 1871, that wasn't, at the Cathedral Opera House in Cairo. It is divided into 4 acts and takes place in ancient Egypt. So there we have it. That wraps up tonight's quiz. I will give you a minute just to get those answers down. I don't think you need any time with the exception of that one. There's possibly 1 or 2, isn't it? The one you've got to work the word out, but never mind, it wasn't too difficult. It wasn't too tricky tonight. So I've had some very good scores up until, well, I think we've had some very good scores tonight. Out of a possible 63 we've had. We'll see what we get tonight. I think some 50, high 50s, maybe even touching the 60s if we're lucky. We'll see. What's that? A statues round. Yes, we could have a statues round. That'd be a good one, Mark. We'll have to take them down. Statues round next week. Oh dear, oh dear. It's all gone a bit too far, but never mind. Hopefully that'll all blow away with the wind as normal. Right, then here we go. Here are the answers to the last round. Let's see how you fared. Let's just name some winners and some not quite winners, but never mind. She's still rabbiting. Well, just tell her to stop rabbiting. What's she rabbiting about? Right, here we go. General trivia. Who is reported to have said to his wife, "Honey, I forgot to duck"? Well, that was Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan. I don't know if you got that. After his assassination, not his assassination, but the assassination attempt in 1991. Question number 2, starring Kevin Spacey. That line came from a film called American Beauty. Number 3, meaning east in Russian, that's Vostok. Vostok, as in Vladivostok. Yeah, Vostok means east in Russian. And that was the name of the complaining about the questions. She's rabbiting and complaining about the questions, is she? What, they too easy for her, or what? She wants them to be a bit harder. Question number 4. Which property on the Monopoly board is not a street, but was originally a coaching inn? That was the Angel, Islington. The Angel was a coaching inn in Islington. Number 5, that group of jolly people that come door to door preaching about God and whatever else are the Jehovah's Witnesses. The Jehovah's Witnesses. It's a nice one. Animals and nature. Yeah, we can have a bit more about animals and nature. Number 6, according to the old nursery rhyme, what would cost 1 a penny, 2 a penny? That's hot cross buns. Number 7, the word I was after was guest, house guest, paying guest, and guest list. I'm sure you'll work that out. Number 8, the first bridge that boats pass under in the annual Oxford versus Cambridge boat race has Hammersmith Bridge, of course. Hammersmith Bridge. There are only 2 bridges that the boats actually go on, the ones of which are rail bridge. Can't remember, but I think it's Barnes, but I'm sure somebody will correct me on that one. Number 9, what is the name of the lines on an OS map that join places of equal height? They're known as contour lines. Contour lines. Lyrics round and Disney round. We did a Disney round. Well, I did a Disney round last night in Cy Carter's quiz. Thankfully, there were some pictures which helped a bit. But we hadn't got, which one did we couldn't get Ariel. Was it Ariel? Oh, got that completely wrong, yeah. We knew it wasn't Bell. Yeah, I think we put something wrong. And finally, which of Giuseppe Verdi's operas premiered on Christmas Eve, 1871? That was the opera Aida. Aida. Well done if you got that. Jackie skipped Putney Bridge. Doesn't go under Putney Bridge. No more. We'll have that in next week's, Jackie. Putney Bridge. Baby's due next month. OSC. Oh, my God. Right then. Leslie Barrett bomb, 50 out of 63. I still think that's a good, nearly 80% there, Leslie. Can't go on with that. Ariel or washing powder round, we could do. Console lines are called ice ooze. They probably are. Yeah, yeah, whatever they're called. That sounds good, actually. Mike Yates on 50. Marianne ended up on 52.5. We've got Sarah and the gang from Worcester on 53 points. Michelle Gibbons on 53. Richard Potter on 53. Crispy, 60 points. That's going to take some beating. Well, Chris, is that good enough to win tonight? We will see. We have... Oh, God, where's he gone to now? 60 points. Roger Griffiths on 48 points. Nicky Bowers on 51. Stuart Colwell, 41 points. Mick Roberts on a very respectable 50 points. We've got Carol Jackson, Home Alone 6 on 56 points. Quizzy Rascals, 61 points, just pipping Chris Speak there. Ian Miller's on 52 points. We got the famous 5. Last week's winners, I think, on 56.5 points. That's still a very respectable score. Carol Green's on 44 points. Well played, you. Helen and Steve Valentine, they've ended up on 55 points. Anybody mid to high 50s has done very well. Pick a Mixer on 51. The Boomer Prize Girls on 50. Harry Julian in on 58 points. So that's so close. Jane Gibbons on 53, well played them. PRS, 60 points, well played PRS. Andrew Lewis on 47.5 points. Jenny Graham and friends on 53 points. We have Martin Davis on 53 points. T Swizzle, 54. Luckily, we had some Brits helping. That's what I like to see. Mark Gamilton's on 49 points. What do you want? Good quiz. Back to the footy. All right. Chris Mead split the difference on 61 points. Anybody else? Any other team scores we've got to come in? So we've got split the difference on 61 points at the moment, along with old PRS on 60 points. And we've got Quizzy Rascals on 61 points. So it looks like a two-way tie at the top and 2 equal second places. So it's equal third place, effectively. So we have the Quizzy Rascals ending up, well played them, 61 points. Well played also to split the difference tonight on 61 points. Just pipping PRS, who will be on third equal place on 60 points, alongside Chris Speaker, also on 60 points. Fantastic score there, Chris. And again, well played, everybody. And thank you very much for taking part tonight. I know we got football worries and people watching that, which obviously 1 or 2 teams weren't taking part because of the football, which is a bit of a shame. But never mind. Now, all being well, I will be going live from outside broadcast cameras on Sunday night. Not if it's raining, obviously, because I'll get wet. But if it's not raining, we will have the outside broadcast cameras going for Sunday night's quiz, starting at 8:15 as usual. 6 rounds again of tricky trivia to keep you all amused, and we'll see how you all fare then. So thanks ever so much, everybody. I will check 1 or 2 of those questions, especially that Brazil question. I need to dot that and get rid of that, I think, or just change it. And also the one about Dunnithead, I need to check up for SIF to see where we're going on with that one. But thanks, everybody. Good night and God bless. And let's hope that you'll all come and join us on Sunday night for a cracking quiz again, I'm sure, which will be at 8 o'clock Sunday night. So we'll see you all then. Good night. I'm ending the stream now. If there are any other suggestions for rounds or whatever, do feel free to text me. Even if you want one on statues or whatever else, you don't have to have one on statues. But any other suggestions, do feel free to just message me and we'll go from there. Thank you very much, anybody. Good night. I am now going offline so we can watch a little bit of telly or something. Cheers, Roy. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Mark. Cheers, Alex. Cheers, Harry. T Swizzle, thank you very much for joining us tonight, along with Carol, Paula Lewis. They've done very well. Leslie Barrett, thanks. Sif, Jane Gifford and the gang, Jackie Skip, Marion, Robin, of course, Michelle Gibbons, well done. Rachel Potter, Ian Miller, Faye, and Nikki, well done. I hope that keep that daughter of yours in order. Stop her yapping all the time. Richard, Stewart, Martin Davis, thank you, of course, for making the lead. Andrew Lewis, did you beat Martin? Oh, no, he picked you in the end. And anyway, thank you very much. If I haven't mentioned you, thank you all. And we will see you again. All the best. Good night.